laning phase went fine. Now we are, of course, different sides here in the picks and bans. So Jarvan is still an option to ban from NIP unless they want to first pick it.
Well, let's find out, shall we? We're into bans and picks for the final game between Ninjas in Pyjamas and SK Gaming Prime. First ban coming out is no change here. They don't want to let What the Fox onto Syndra, and they'll ban that one out straight away. Second ban coming in for SK Gaming Prime will be Kassadin red side ban. Nothing really to talk about on that front. And Irelia taken away, so taking Smitty off his comfort pick.
Played it twice now. First game was very good, second game good start, but once we got into the late game team fights, he pretty much just became a tank. He was again the guy in IP pretty much killed in every single fight, so still want to ban away, try and move Smitty on something else.
Well, I mean, I'm glad they banned the Mumu.
So I actually do recall watching SK Gaming Prime play an online tournament where they played a Mumu jungle.
Okay.
And won. And it was, I don't really remember the lineup 100%, but it's a Mumu jungle and some other stuff which is not normal picks. Maybe NIP was fearing SK Prime with their pull out their little special tactic.
Well, look at this. They've banned out Zillion and Rengar, and they first picked the Jarvan here for Co. And SK Prime say, okay, then we'll just take Gragas and Yasuo.
So Gragas was open last game where SK Prime took Elise as the first pick, but now they do actually lock it in. Don't want to risk NIP have both Jarvan and Gragas, and then possibly like a Yasuo as well. Orianna is open for Alex. He played it already here in the Challenger Series. Would be a nice setup with Jarvan. We saw it from SK Prime in game 1. Yasuo, sorry, I talked about Yasuo. He's already gone. Should be Orianna then, if they want to do this wombo combo from NIP side.
Freeze definitely is happy with Kog'Maw here as well. Gonna take it for a third game running. Easy locking choice. What are they gonna go with here though? Will it be that Orianna in the middle lane? Or is it gonna be support focused? We've seen Braum a couple of times over with Zaitan. Voidal, of course, brought out the Gragas support in the last game, and Braum will go in his hands this time around.
Well, let's see here if SK Prime will show us where Gragas is actually going. We know he's probably not going mid lane. Yasuo should sit on it, even though we have seen it top lane a few times in LCS. Kevin played it, Soaz played it today as well. But SK Prime here, got the two standard options for AD carry. I mean, Corki in game 1 worked really well for them. Open once again. Israel would also be open in case they wanted.
Well, maybe a Nami pick here, obviously, to get that tidal wave off, to get the bubbles in. I'll aid with What the Fox if he gets this Yasuo. Of course, it could still end up being top lane and a Gragas support. We'll have to figure that out once we get through onto these final couple of picks. But looks like the bot lane will be locked in here. It is going to be Zizon, Corki again, and Nami will go to Zaitan.
Yeah, it's a very good poke lane here from SK Prime. Should be able to dominate the lane. We might even see NIP trying to avoid it and actually swap around it, but depends on the remaining picks. Because it's very annoying to deal with sustain from Nami, and then the poke and damage early game from a Corki here. Won't be easy for Freeze to trade. Well, let's see here what we actually have. Look at just the picks. Maokai still open for Capuchard up in the top lane if he wants it. Alex in the mid lane, Orianna, Twisted Fate, Ari if he wants to play. There's a lot of options here. Pretty much every single mid laner, except for his good old Zillion, would actually be open.
Well, it looks like we could be seeing that Maokai locked in, and it will be locked in for Capuchard. And Alex Itch is going to pick Rise.
Okay, going old school here from Alex. The old Rise. Always been a very strong pick for him. Always been one where he seems to always manage to get into late game very, very fast. Early Rod of Ages. T, of course, get his stacking. Let's see what he can do here. Against the Yasuo, it's going to mean Yasuo likes to jump around in the lane. Rune Prison kind of stops it, and you can actually trade really well as Rise against Yasuo because you can just lock him in place. And we'll see how it goes in lane.
Well, we're going to see Vi picked up here for Kikis, so saying, you know what, guys, you did really well last game with Yasuo, with Gragas in the team, with Vi in the team. We're going to add one more big knock up there with Nami, and we're going to see if we can beat you at your own game.
So they want to go straight towards Freeze in these team fights here. He's going to have to get early defensive items. Because again, on the side of NIP, they don't have a lot of peel for him. Okay, Ryze can stand next to him. That's going to be the best you can do because Braum, he lands his CC and then it's all about the one stun he brings up. It's going to be hard for him to block the engage coming in from SK Prime here. So not a lot of peel, no Black Shield, no knock-up Solid and Braum here to try and stop SK Prime from just running straight towards Freeze.
Well, as the players get ready for the final match, tell us who you think will go home with the win. Send a tweet to @LOL eSports with the hashtag NIPWin or SKPWin. And we'll see how you guys voted a little bit later on. Game 2 saw a bit of a swing, actually, in favor of SK Prime. We'll see, though, if people are feeling it for NiP after that comeback in Game 2.
Once again, though, the late game setup from NIP, if they do get to late game, is very scary. Like every single champion, if you look at the carries like Ryze, scales so well into late game. We saw Maokai, how tanky it becomes. It can be very hard for SK Prime to win the late game team fights. But mid game, because you do have Corki, will always be strong. You can always look for these fights here in the mid game. You can set it up with Vi and the Yasuo, and then you have Corki sitting in the back. Of course, Gragas, a good mid-game champion as well. So SK Prime, it is very late here in Europe, by the way. Looking for the mid-game once again, NIP, looking for the late game.
And they did so well in game number 1 with that mid-game composition. They knew exactly when they had the power to win the game, and you can't knock them on that. They were able to finish it very, very well. Well, guys, we are going to be going into game number 3 between the Ninjas in Pyjamas and SK Gaming Prime to figure out which team is going to take the win here. All tied up in the best of 3. All comes down to this one.
And we had Kikis playing Jarvan in game 1. Now it's over to Ko to try and do the same, be very aggressive with the engages. Kikis can, of course, do the same thing here on Vi. And if he plays it anything like he plays Jarvan, we can expect him to look at a target and just engage straight away and hope the rest of SK Prime is ready to follow. Because it seems to be the way they like to play. Very aggressive play style.
Got Alex itch on his old see hero, kill hero, Ryze favorite of the old times in this mid lane. As you said, though, going to be taking a bit of time to scale up, and if they get that far where, you know, Ryze is getting towards maximum build, when Cabochard is as tanky as that last game when Freeze is up there with all his items as well, that is a scary possibility for SK Gaming Prime. Let's see if they go for anything here in the early levels. And there's going to be a football running out of the bush, trying to hit Smitty, but not quite quick enough to catch up with the fat man.
And if we do look at the last few games, early and mid game has always been in favor of SK Prime, so it could be a big issue for main IP. The laning phase, if you look at both the top lane and the bottom lane, should be in favor of SK Prime, meaning they can most likely get slightly ahead on farm here. We can see Kikis, once he hit level 6, trying to be active. Ko really needs to be active on Jarvan here, even before level 6. Get in, help his lanes out here. You can set up ganks so well with Maokai top lane if Smitty is overextending in the lane. He's an easy target. Otherwise, if Voidal can set something up in the bottom lane. And we do actually see NIP lane swap. I really do believe it's a very smart idea, just to avoid these very strong lanes from SK Prime.
Well, we see an early invade for the red buff. Ko and Voidal going to get that one started off on the bottom side. We actually see Cabochard trying to take his own red buff here to stop that one from being taken away, but it's actually reset itself there, which means that Vi might just be able to come around and they'll just trade buffs.
So they were trying to do double buff start here, red buff for Cabochard and then the other red buff for Ko. Didn't work, however. SK Prime is not moving towards the red buff yet. They didn't know actually Jarvan was in at their own red buff. I'm not sure if they had a ward to spot it. But they are moving up there now, even though it's already gone. So they're actually letting NIP get 3 buffs here at level 1.
Interesting little start. And interesting to see how this one's going to go. There is the Rune Prison coming down. Knockup won't quite land, and What the Fox is able to get away.
Very smart little move here after the Rune Prison ended. He just stepped behind Ko and just dashed right through him in towards his own tower here. So smart little move. And let's see here. We did actually talk about the early ganks from Ko. He needs to do it. He needs to help out his lanes. And that was very early, already at level 2.
Speaking of the lanes, that 2v1 up top, as we see the vote. Thought it might swing back to NIP after that game 2 victory. 81% of you thinking, okay, 82% of you, always tweeting to throw me off there, thinking that NIP are going to win this game. Smitty going to face a little bit of pressure here. And actually Zaitan has come up, so it'll give him that 2v2 lane. Still obviously has the danger, the fact that Freeze with his range can still put down pressure.
Just leaving a Corgi to freeze the bottom lane, and nobody wants to deal with it. Capuchat moving around. Even on Maokai, you can actually have some pretty good ganks. He wants to get in towards What the Fox here.
Well, What the Fox has no flash available for this one. Alex H going to go in there. Is the Rune Prison. Can they get the kill though? No, not enough damage.
Same move again, just steps towards Alex and then dashes through whoever's ganking him into his own tower. Top lane, it is a bit of an unfair lane now. Greg is only level 2, taking a lot of poke from Freeze. And Voidal taking some damage again.
Yep, trying to offer a bit more backup there. Bubble actually landing onto Voidal. Smithy J has been able to actually push this wave out, which actually might come back to hurt him somewhat if NIP say, okay, we'll freeze it on our side of the map, and then what are you going to do after that? Then you have to push out, and we can bring Ko or even Cabochard in there to try and get some kills down. We'll see how that one all works out. If we look at the CS between the AD carries, it's actually Z's that's getting the better time of it so far. He's just basically free farming down on that bottom lane. Mid lane is also a bit of a problem for What the Fox. Alex Itch, 28 to 10 CS, and that's the difference here between the Yasuo versus Xerath matchup, where he can dodge things easily and arise with a Rune Prison.
And then we have to remember 2 ganks very early from NIP onto What the Fox in here. Had to use the flash and also been denied CS because he had to dash back to his own tower while the minions were dying. So Alex definitely in control of the lane now. Kikis might go aggressive here, let's see. Just smiting it.
Go use it. Oh,
whoa. Oh,
flashing away. Oh, Zaitan's coming down from this one. Mid lane's going to come up. Oh, there's the belly slam right as he goes through into Baron Pit. This is surely the first blood coming in. He goes on to Smitty, and I don't know how Voidal's going to get away from it. Alex will flash as well. Who are they going for? They're going for Alex. Well, they might have to go under the tower if they want that, and I think NIP get away with this.
So Ko here, he went into the jungle of SK Prime, even though the top lane was actually pushed towards Freeze. He was standing there farming, trying to freeze the lane. So it's very easy for SK Prime to send both Gragas and Nami in towards Ko in the jungle here. Therefore, he actually flashed away instantly. Wasn't enough, still ended up dying here. So over-aggressive and didn't really respect the fact that SK Prime could so easily send multiple members in and get him.
Actually saw a Cabochard there as well, going aggressive onto Z's. Wants to stop him poking him so much in that bottom lane. Meanwhile, the fact that Alex did start to, had to move around and move back from that little bit of danger there, he's managed to get a bit of farm back now, has What the Fox. 39 to 28, so still behind nonetheless.
Now this bottom lane actually managed to reset the wave almost, still taking some damage, but both AD carries been happy just sitting in farm. Only seen Cabochard show himself bottom lane. The last few seconds here to try and push it out, reset the wave, get some farm. He did pick up quite some farm actually, where Smitty had to move, go for the kill. Did pick it up, however, so first blood goal for him. And mid lane, still Alex is in charge. Has his level 6, but there's been a lot of ganks onto What the Fox.
We'll see if those ganks continue. Ko, level 4 at the moment. Obviously, Kikis, as soon as he gets level 6, then you can expect him to be diving in left, right, and center with that assault and battery, as we experienced from game number 1 when he was playing the Jarvan. It's a nice little wind wall. He'll stop most of the damage going on to What the Fox, but Alex not scared of spamming, especially since, of course, he's gone in for that tier early on. Going to be getting that stacked up quickly.
And Ko is constantly around this mid lane in case Kikis comes in for a gank. He will be there, instantly counter gank it. Ryze is very, very strong at this point. Already has his tier compared to what the Fox can do damage-wise. Only sitting on some crit. So if there is a 2v2 fight, it should definitely be in favor of NIP at this point.
Alex back into his farming ways. Bottom is staying at an advantage for SK Gaming Prime though. And there is Kikis actually coming up. Cabochard has now gone into this 1v1 up top, so lanes are going to somewhat normalize themselves now.
And he is 1 level ahead at the moment. He's already hit his level 6 point because he got a lot of farm down this bottom lane. And now just back in standard lane. So NIP, lane swap, dodge around the early levels of the very hard lanes versus SK Prime, and then also put a lot of focus on shutting down What the Fox in the mid lane. A lot of focus here on the early game from NIP, and now back to standard lanes. There is the teleport on Smith is going to be up before Cabochard. Opens up for SK Prime in 2 minutes. 2 minutes time, if they want to try and set up a dragon. For now though, Everyone going back to standard lanes. And Vi, or Kikis, just hit his level 6 point. Let's see if he wants to gank.
Well, for now, seems to be happy to farm. Where is he going to gank at this stage? Alexic already backed away somewhat in this middle lane, fearing maybe for the fact that Kikis will be hitting that level here very soon. And actually he's just going to back away to get himself, with the help of Coat, his first blue buff of the game. Continues to stack himself up. Cabochard in this top lane actually taking a bit of poke. He's given a fair bit back of his own though on towards Smithy, who's got himself that Catalyst, the Protector in there. So every time he levels, going to be getting a little bit of sustain back.
And also going for the early Rod of Ages, no triple Dorns here. Cabochard has double Dorns. In the last game he did actually build Rod of Ages as the first item, like we normally see on Maokai top lane. Should be looking to do the exact same in this game. And now Freeze down his bottom lane, slightly behind in CS. There's a big wave, however, for him to pick up.
Yeah, actually Cabochard that last game, I think it was 10 minutes 45 there or thereabouts. It was 6 minutes earlier than the first game when he got it. Not going to quite hit that one here though. He's only just got the health and mana crystals to start that Catalyst, the Protector off. We do have a Catalyst as well for Alexic on top of his tier, so he's working himself up to a pretty standard Rise build at this point.
And NIP, they didn't actually manage to punish Kikis in the early game here. He's been farming really well and just been sitting in the jungle for the entire time. And Ko did have the mid lane ganks, but didn't actually pick up any kills, and instead we had the first blood for SK Prime. Once again, back to the mid lane here, waiting for Kikis to come in, gank Alex, and then you turn it around because Ko is waiting in the side, on the side. Once again, top lane trade.
Back away there from Ko. Kikis was actually doing his raids and he's continued to farm here. You can see that entire time that Ko's been waiting around has cost him in terms of CS. Gonna be dropping over 20 behind, and there we go. Assault and Battery coming in on towards Ko, but can he get away? Oh, pops down the Cataclysm and then just flashes over the wall.
So the first time we actually see Kikis move towards the lanes, he was mid lane once, but it's a long time ago. And we instantly see him beat out Ko, force him to flash away, force him to use the ulti. And now he can go back to farm. His lanes are doing well. Only the mid lane is slightly behind in farm. Down the bottom lane, SK Prime is winning. Down the top lane, Smitty has taken control after they went back to standard lanes and just been pushing it down over and over. So he doesn't actually need to gank anywhere.
So Alexic there just headed down towards bottom, and as soon as he saw them moving back, actually he's going to step through the wind wall here, do a good chunk of damage on towards What the Fox, and basically punish him for moving so far up the lane there as Alex went wandering. What the Fox though, I think going to come back here with a static shift done. Yep, there it is.
So now already got some early bursts. If they just get onto Alex here or whatever member it is from NIP. And teleport, we talked earlier about how SK Prime had teleport earlier or before NIP would. Didn't actually want to set up anything around the dragon. And we're just going back or staying in the lanes. Voidal trying to go in for the trade. Actually ended up backfiring. Took a lot of damage for it.
Yeah, Freeze and Voidal pretty low from that one. Seeing that Corki with those big bombs really starting to sting as Kiki's moving in. They're going to start off a dragon here after that bottom lane did go low. So really utilizing what damage they've done on that bottom side of the map to get the first dragon of the game. Really well done from SKP.
Yeah, very nice timing. At the same time, you had Smitty recalling to buy Rod of Ages. He could teleport down with an item advantage compared to Cabochard. And Alex was forced back to base, or went back to base as well. So good timing from SK Prime. There's no wards from NIP. Voidal is going to go there now. Actually, no. So NIP at this moment don't have a timer unless they saw SKP move in and just kind of like say, okay, it's probably around this point. So probably knows the dragon is gone, just didn't check it.
Yep, estimate the time for the next time that it spawns. We'll see about that one. Meanwhile, Kiki's going to get himself that red buff. See if he goes back into lane. Top's been pretty much a non-starter for him because Smitty's just pushed Cabochard every single time on towards his own turret. Actually, ultimate going to be used there. Kikis is going to start to come in. Is this how they lure him in? Out far enough from his turret. Actually, Cabochard turning around, but Kikis has already, I think, lost interest in that top lane. He's moving over towards mid.
Around this mid lane again. Both mid lanes going very aggressive. Kikis is here. They want to go.
Oh, they're going to go for it as well. There's the turnaround, the knock-up, and the burst. Too much for Alex to handle. And that will be the second kill of the game. It's Kikis that picks up this one.
And Co have been waiting so many times in this mid lane for exactly this gank to happen. Not as fast, however. Now they have enough levels, enough time to just instant burst down Alex. And they set it up so well.
Cabochard as well, getting destroyed in that top lane. That Rod of Ages been too much to handle for him. We actually saw as well, I'm pretty sure that Cabochard picked up a third Doran's after he bought the Catalyst there as well. So obviously needed a little bit more power right here, right now, without being able to afford to move up towards that blasting one. Either way, he's been bullied by Smitty in that top lane. Still keeping fairly level with him though when it comes to farm. Mid lane is pretty level. Even the AD carries, not much of a difference between them.
It's very even. It's all about Kikis at the moment, his ganks, and Cabochard going towards Smitty. Co is down up in this top lane now.
Yeah, Co actually starting to move in that one. Are they going to dive here? Cabochard going underneath the turret. That could actually really cost them here. Co going to knock into Kikis. What are they going to do with it? Cabochard starts to move around Smitty right now. Will try and get in there as well, but Kikis is going to fall. What the Fox moves in as well. Smitty J at this point doesn't have his ultimate to get the knockup. What the Fox is actually going to be flashed away from by Cabochard. Alex Hitch has got one kill, but who's going to win the one-on-one? It's What the Fox doing all the damage. Knockup, ultimate, double kill for What the Fox.
Got the double buff as well, and every single time SK Prime they move towards whatever fight it is, they seem to just win it. It's been a story in every single game we've seen. Let's get it again. Kikis charge up, actually go towards Cabochard, and then all of a sudden he finds Co waiting in the bush here. A lot of damage, but Alex joins first. Then we have What the Fox joining in. No ulti yet, because there's been no knockups. Now chasing on. They want to kill Cabochard here. Want to get this double buff. This means Smitty will die to Alex, but then as soon as you have the double buff, the one-on-one easily goes in favor of What the Fox here. And just like game 1, game 2, the early fights, SK Prime, they always win them.
And kind of expecting that as well with a Rise on the team, with Maokai on the team. The question is, should they be really getting involved in these fights at this point? I know that, you know, sometimes as Co just found out, you're going up to the top lane maybe for a look in there, and all of a sudden you're kind of surrounded by 2 other members from SK Prime. Either way, they've got a nice little lead now with about 3,500 gold. Just 16 minutes into this matchup. Alex Hitch has got his Rod of Ages though now. And we see a Cutlass for What the Fox. So looking like he might, as a second item, be going to that Blade for the sustain. And the 1v1 power.
And the 1v1 power, of course. And he's going to get it fairly fast, actually. Picked up a lot of farm in his mid lane, even though he was shot down early on. Also with the 2 kills, got the first dragon, the next one spawning should go over to SK Prime as well. And you said before, should NIP be fighting at the moment? No, they shouldn't. They should be waiting. They need to build up time now. Rise had the advantage in the very early stages of the lane, but now, static shift complete is definitely in favor of What the Fox. We saw it before in this fight as well. SK Prime were the stronger team.
You've seen a turret trade coming in as well. And that leaves SK Prime 2-1 up in turrets, with 120 until the next dragon will be spawning in. They're on the move here. They're actually hunting for Freeze, I think. Red Buff, of course, had it timed down as well, and that will be picked up. Actually, What the Fox with his double buff on, and of course Kikis getting that red with the smite as well. So 2 scary chasers that they've got, and they're not a combo that you want to be getting caught out by. And What the Fox actually going to move into this one. Rune Prison comes down, the tidal wave not quite going to land, just sidestepped there by Co. That was dangerous for NIP.
And just wanted a knock up here, didn't actually get it. The wave came in pretty late, and therefore we just wait for this dragon now. Let's see. Cabochard already, Smitty already moved down here to join with the team. If they can get a pick, they can easily move in for dragon and take it. And let's see if they can get a knock up here. Co. Slide out of position.
Ziz actually getting knocked up there. And actually he's going to go aggressive here, and why not? Co's very low.
Well, that was the pick they needed.
The auto attack. Co goes down, and Freeze now going to be chased. Throws a stun in there. There's the knockup. What the Fox going to get his ulti off as well, but have they got the damage? Brilliant bubble coming in from the back. That's 2 kills now. Alexic backs away, and in the end, it's a 3-for-1. We did see What the Fox go down right in the very last second.
And SK Prime can go straight towards the Dragon here, pick up the second one of the game. And once again, they look for these mid-game fights and they find them. They play so aggressive, and every single time NIP just moves towards them, they engage straight up, go in, pick up the kills. Say we saw a very nice setup before, and everything actually started with Ko being out of position. He died. Let's just get it again here. Ko jumps onto this, and well, what are you gonna do? You have to run away now. Takes a lot of damage here, ends up dying, flashing in. It's all about the fight up here. Kick is going in, sets up the knock-up, and then What the Fox instantly joins. 3 members from NIP knocked up here. Beautiful setup, and there's just so much AoE damage. There's so much damage on the side of SK Prime. They can finish off the members. Okay, they did lose 1. So got the Dragon, got even more kills, and look at the goal lead.
It's pretty big at this stage already, and it was actually Voidal that got the kill there onto What the Fox from his Ignite at the end, so not really going the places that they would have wanted that to. We do see Glacial Shroud picked up now for Alexic, which obviously fits into his build path and also gives him that nice arm, which he's definitely going to need here with Kikis and What the Fox diving in onto him.
It's just going to be very hard for NIP actually to defend now, because they've been involved in these fights already. They've lost them, fell so far behind in gold. Nobody can one-on-one What the Fox at the moment. He's very strong. Once he completes Blade, it's become even harder to actually one-on-one him. There we go, completed. And SK Prime can just look to group up again, look for the next fight here. Kikis is not shy to engage and just pick up whatever target he actually decides to use the ult on. They can burst it down. Double buff on Corki as well. And SK Prime moving here down his bottom lane, a massive wave pushing onto the tower.
And they may just well go down there, actually clearing out that pink ward on the corner side of the red buff, moving all the way through the jungle. The wave is pushed up. Alexic is actually down there to clear that one out, but the rest of the team might have to get involved now that SK Prime are pushing through there. I think in the end with Alex's presence and that wave, their next wave not coming in for a little while, that may just run out on that side, but Kikis is still in the jungle.
So at least, or luckily for NIP, their siege potential from SK Prime is not the best. I mean, yeah, they can poke a lot, but damage onto towers, it's all about Corki here. Yasuo can't really just go and hit the towers, a bit too risky for him. So in that case, oh, Alex in trouble!
Yeah, there's the double up once again. He gets the Rune Prison down, but it's not going to save his life. Kikis will be helping out What the Fox secure his 3rd kill of the game. So a Blade of the Ruin King use, and this combo that they have here, using it so brilliantly. A TP actually from Cabashard down onto the bottom lane. Let's see what they do with this one. I don't think SK Prime, without Corki there, are really thinking they could take that turret.
But this might cost them the top tower here, because Smitty is taking the blue buff. He can go in, push the lane out here, at least get some damage onto the tower. And we talk about how the siege from SK Prime is not ideal, because they can't really they don't have a lot of members who can kill the towers. You don't need it. If you can just dive onto whoever from NIP is left alone under a tower, get a kill here. You can do it time and time again with Vi and Yasuo, like we just saw here on Alex, and then you can actually get onto the towers here. Didn't get any objectives from the last kill. Still did force a teleport, and they keep the pressure up.
So let's have a look down items. Once again, Lichbane was picked up by Smitty J last time that he went home. So he's going to be nailing those turrets if they actually let him get onto it, which right now he is actually moving in. They're actually going to go for Zitan here. It's Cabashard that dives into that one. There's Voidal moving through as well. NIP really going for a big fight this time, but What the Fox is looking for the kills as well. The knock-up onto Alex is going to come through. There's the kill. Can they get any more? Cabashard is going to have to flash away. Ko's already gone down. That's a double kill now for the AD carry, and there is Smitty chasing in. Oh, that was actually quite nice on Cabashard, but now where's he going to go after that? Stuck inside the red buff trees. And that will be 4 kills for 1.
But why is NIP looking for the fight? I'm not sure. There was teleport on Smitty up in the top lane, and it was NIP who chased SK Prime, engaged onto Nami, the support, and instantly SK Prime is like, okay, we're just going to teleport in and turn the fight around, pick up 4 kills. And once again, now they can take towers. NIP have to... I don't even know what they have to do at this point, because they keep looking for fights. SK Prime keep winning them because they're so strong in this mid game now. Instead of NIP trying to sit back, let's see it again. Cabashard looking for the engage. All 5 members from NIP are going for this fight here. Collapse onto SK Prime. Teleport comes in, and as soon as we get a knockback onto Alex, we have a target for What the Fox. Jumps him. Look at the back line again. Corgi, untouched, destroying everyone. So much damage at this point. Trinity Force is proccing left and right. And cover push shot, trying to hide in the trees here. Doesn't exactly work. Another kill, tower as well for SK Gaming Prime. And as long as they keep playing like they're doing now and don't actually give NRP time to get to the late game, they should be able to close out the game.
You say, you know, starting that fight, going on to the support, if you looked at the health bars of SK Prime after that, it was clear that the focus was very, very split, apart from What the Fox, who obviously went down. To get everyone that low means that you're probably not focusing right during these fights. 13-4 in kills, SK Prime are up. Over 10,000 gold. We're 24 minutes into this game. Not looking good right now for Ninjas in Pyjamas in this third game. What the Fox continues to be an annoyance down on the bottom side of the map. And in fact, he's going to have 3 more men coming his way. Are they going to try and catch out Ko?
Let's see, the rest of SK Primes want to take the dragon. Once it actually spawns, Kikis is staying nearby. In case someone wants to try and challenge What the Fox. But nobody from NIP can duel him one-on-one. And once he actually completes in Vintage, it's going to be even worse. So another dragon now for SK Prime. Baron could be the next target. If you don't really want to siege up on towers, you go to Baron, you place up some good wards, and you try and bait the other team to come and face check you. Otherwise, you can just take it for yourself. There's a blade on What the Fox and quite some damage from SK Prime to take down the Baron. Just don't really have anyone who wants to tank it at this point.
And I can't see really how you're going to contend. I mean, if you compare the top laners, level 15 to level 13, same when you look at the mid laners as well. There's 2 levels difference between the AD carries. They are not fights that you want to be taking, never mind what you could even possibly win. There's the knock-up, not quite landed out of What the Fox, but Kikis has his ultimate, and I don't think he cares about towers at this point. May end up just diving on straight through. However, What the Fox has once again just returned to that bottom lane, will continue the annoying split push.
So they're just splitting up NIP here, but still What the Fox can really move in and hit the tower, so you can only push up the lane, see who from NIP is moving to defend, and then maybe go into this mid lane where they want to set up a dive. Notice Kikis again, sitting in the jungle, waiting for someone from NIP to jump What the Fox, and then instant turnaround, because 1 kill from SK Prime, and they should be able to take down one of the towers in the lanes.
Waiting for that kill to come to them. There is What the Fox again moving around towards mid.
They should just set up for Baron here. If they don't actually feel like they can siege down or want to dive NIP, they could just set up the Baron. But seems like they might get a tower. Oh, denied.
Wow. That windfall. Boyle not able to get in. They're actually going to go for it though. Ko dives in, doesn't get the knock-up. There's the ulti coming out. It's Boydle that goes down first. Kikis will knock up 2 as well. They're going to finish off more here, surely. Actually, Kikis has gone down. What the Fox has gone down. And that's a 2 for 2 for now. Alex it's chasing, doesn't quite have the speed to catch up and get his Rune Prison down onto 1 more. And the rest of them are able to back away. So not the worst exchange at all there for NIP, able to hold on to that inner turret in mid.
Yeah, and Voidal decided to just throw himself into SK Prime, and everyone actually turned towards him, so they did kill support. Not exactly the target when you do have a Vi and Yasuo, you want to combine it onto one of the carries. So at least 2 for 2 here from NIP, managed to buy some time. And we might just see SK Prime now move straight towards the Baron, if they do have to pick up some ping wards. Okay, first of all, Windwall completely denies Voidal and his ult. Still, he actually wanted to go in for the fight, and then SK Prime put a lot of focus onto him. Notice how Voidal gets pretty much every single member from SK Prime hitting him, which means once Alex gets knocked up and frees in the background, nobody's there to touch him. So they can actually now do all the damage and end up trading 2 for 2.
Is that the glimmer of hope that NIP are looking for him in the 13,000 gold behind in this game? Not even half an hour in just yet. NIP have actually got a few wards around the Baron area, so that's going to require some cleaning out from SK Prime if they decide that that's the target that they either want to go for or lure NIP into. Meanwhile, What the Fox just continues to push out those side lanes. Bottom lane, of course, inner turret is gone, so inhibitor turret may be a bit of a focus from that one. They actually sent Corki back home to spend some of his 2,300 gold that he's sat on.
We should also have Infinity Edge very, very soon for What the Fox. He's just farming the top lane, wants to complete it, get his 100% crit, and then start blowing up people here. And last whisper actually for Corki at this point. There is some armor on the side of NIP, so it does make a lot of sense. And let's see if SK Prime wants to try and set up a Baron, because they've tried now to push the lanes, get towards the towers, but NIP have just kept them away every single time. Last teamfight traded 2 for 2 and been buying time, which is what they need. So SK Prime finally moving into this Baron here. They don't have a, they do actually have a pink ward on Kikis, so can place it
outside of the pit.
Yeah.
And there's a ward inside of the pit. So that's not going to be spotted here unless they decide to scan it out, of which all their trinkets are currently
so this bait is not going to
cooldown.
work. Definitely not.
No.
NIP is like, yeah, nope.
It's the least sneaky Baron bait
If,
of all time.
come on, use your sweeping lens at least to see if there's any ward behind the corner.
They got 2 of them.
Oh, no. They can stay here for another minute.
Hey!
Oh, there we go.
That feeling. Sat in there for half a minute.
But now they can do it.
Now they can do it.
Let's see.
NIP are going to come in and throw a flag in there.
And...
Oh.
Oh, there's the ward spotting. Nobody's actually dealing damage to the Baron. And go back into your corner.
Actually looking like they will just back away from it this time.
But why? You just cleared the ward. You can stay. Keep the pressure going.
Maokai's down bottom. TP is available, and SK Prime say, you know what? They've not put another ward down. Let's just start it.
And
Feel comfortable about this one. NIP are nowhere near them. Gragas is still in that mid lane, keeping them out of arm's reach. And there is the Baron going over to SK Prime. 15,000 gold TP. Not the best TP you've ever seen. Z's is now unstoppable, and that surely opens up the floodgates, at least for this middle tower. There they get Freeze as well, who's completely out of position. SK Prime, I'll tell you what, they can do a lot of damage here.
And even though NIP won the last game, they seem to be the team completely on tilt here. Didn't even cancel the teleport. Joins in, get just blown up instantly. Terrible teleport from Capuchard. And then Freeze caught out of position. He dies. Opens up now the base and inhibitor. And Alex, you're dead.
Alex is also going to be in trouble from this one. Actually did manage to flash away. They're trying to pick off Kikis there, who is just going to survive with no real problems. Inhibitor turret goes down. They've got What the Fox also pushing the top lane out. So they're going to get at least 2 inhibs. Freeze will be coming up in 5 seconds. Voidal's still got half a minute until he comes back into the game. Well, just like that, Baron, 3 kills, 2 inhibitors.
Yeah, so not only did you lose the Baron, you also decided to run out to SK Prime, die, and therefore give them 2 inhibitors in your base, making it even harder now to come back. 20,000 gold lead, 31 minutes in. Very impressive once again by SK Prime. We see the same tactic, focus on the mid game. NIP, they want to go late game, and they're never allowed to get there because SK Prime just constantly look for the fights. And for some reason, NIP constantly look for the fights.
You say they want to go for the fights in the late game, yet we've seen many occasions already during this game where Ninjas in Pyjamas have been fighting without being at the point that they need to be. That whole fight down bottom, a bit of a desperation move maybe. And that is another dragon as well. That's only going to make this gold lead worse. And now at 21,000 gold. Half an hour into the game. What the Fox now? Infinity Edge, Blade of the Ruin King, Static Shiv is going to pick up a GA next with his Chain Vest and Negatron Cloak, and he's just going to keep pushing. Oh, there we go. Knockup actually coming on. He's going to die.
You did,
and it's Freeze that gets that kill. Nice little setup by Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Yeah, so just buying some time here. Now they can go back to the base, defend for all the super minions. SK Prime might even look to just stay because the super minions are going to be running into the base of NIP here, and they are actually going to stay down. Kikis is at his red buff, however, so SK Prime needs to be careful they don't get a bit too cocky.
Yeah. All it takes a couple of little mistakes to end up losing. It'll probably take more than a couple at this stage. You know, 21,000 gold just to make that one clear.
Only compare the items on the AD carries.
Yeah.
Barely any change.
It's rather the large difference. Bloodthirst is going to be coming up next for Z's. What the Fox still got a few seconds until he actually spawns back into the game. And there they go. They're actually going to go for Z's, and they may get him. They do manage to get him. Barrel comes out from Smitty J. Are they going to keep chasing? I think Voidal wanted to. They decided against it, and they get another kill.
So again, NIP getting some gold here, buying more time, because now SK Prime has to wait for another member to respawn, and they can't really use the 2 inhibitors to actually push up now. Probably gonna have to wait for those to respawn, and then actually move into either the mid or the top lane, and then take the fight. So NIP at the moment do punish SK Prime for being a little bit overconfident, we could say. Still, as you just said, it's probably gonna take more than just 1 or 2 mistakes from SK Prime, but some sloppy play now here in the end. It's of course very late for the players too.
Yeah, need to be a little careful about how they go about this one. I mean, What the Fox was simply caught out there.
Sure, that was a nice setup.
That was a nice setup by NIP. They probably shouldn't have hung around that turret 4 versus 5, although then again, you say they're 20k gold ahead, they've all got Baron buff on, they might even feel that they can get a fight in a 5 versus 4 scenario to go their way. And What the Fox says, I'm not going to be scared of that bottom lane now just because you set up a trap to kill me. I'm going to keep pushing that one through. Of course, bottom lane is the only lane that still has inhibitor turret standing. And the inhibitor even, because there's middle and top inhibs still yet to spawn in. And there is SK Prime starting to move through middle, gonna get those super minions streaming into the base, and not easy to hold on to 2 lanes of super minions coming through into your base. We'll see what SK Prime are gonna do this one. Obviously that bottom lane is the obvious turret, so just wait here for those inhibs to come back up and kill them off again.
Seems like they're just waiting. There we go, respawned. And now if NIP actually wants to fight, there's no tower to help them. It's just gonna be straight up 5 versus 5. Only advantage NIP does have, or do have, is the fact they can go back to base and heal and maybe rejoin the fight. But with all the damage on the side of SK Prime, they might not get the chance.
And Kikis has got a guard in, so if he's going to fight, that's what he's going to go do. Smitty actually getting locked up from this one. We've got Cabashard down the back. He will be finished off. Ko is now all alone as well. Ultimate being used. It's a double kill for Z's, and that is 2 strong members in this team now down. Can SK Prime finish off? They're going to get rid of that second inhibitor and surely start to move on to the Nexus turrets.
Do have 1 super minion with them. Might actually just go for this bot lane where a big minion wave is pushing in. NIP for now, holding off to the Nexus, but his tower is going down very fast.
Another wind wall coming out to stop them from defending this one, and that is the inhib turret going down. Alex Hitch actually diving on top of him. He may just pay the price here. Actually, Smitty and Kikis a little bit low. They've caught out Voidal. There is another kill coming down. It's going to be a double actually for Z's. Finally, he gets shut down, but Freeze will drop as well. Kikis did die in the end, but that is 5 for 3.
Yeah.
And maybe enough here still to finish the game.
Well, all inhibitors gone. They won't be able to finish. Have to actually move away now. Teleport from Cabashard.
Oh, they're going in for it. Actually, Ko gonna go in with that one. Try and finish off Smitty J, but that is a lot of damage. Sonya's is gonna be used. Cabashard, though, will get the shutdown.
Still, crazy teleport from your own fountain. Anyway, NIP lost every single inhib now. Nexus turret stayed alive. And I'm just looking forward now to the Challenger Finals next week, where of course we have the 6 best Challenger teams facing each other to see who's actually going into the promotion tournament. Going to be playing on Thursday and Friday next week, together with the quarterfinals from the LCS. And let's just get the replay once again here. So remember, SK Gaming Prime, very, very far ahead, just looking for the fight. It's actually Cabashard again engaging. Corky decides to fly away. He's very, very far away now. Ko tries to join in, instantly denied by the wave here, and he actually won't do anything in this team fight. Easy cleanup from SK Prime. Back to life here.
Yeah, Baron actually spawning in from this one. They're going to try and lock out What the Fox. Can they finish him off here, though? He's actually dashing straight through them. Knockups coming around. Alex Hitch going to join the fight. Z's off of the backside, doing a lot of damage. Are they going to finish Freeze? They will. And Z's has managed to survive through it. Alex going to be the next to be picked off. And right there, 3 men go down with 1 minute spawn timers. They're going to flash in. Ko going to be chased here by What the Fox, and they can just push through straight into the base. The minions are going to win the game from either way. Super minions already there. We see Maokai going back. Ko is going to be finished off, and SK Prime going to be pushing straight through. Nothing that Cabashard can do, and may just finish him off here for style points, or just ignore him. And it is SK Prime that are summer champions here. brilliantly done. Long best of three,
Yeah.
tough best of three. But this last game, really coming out strong after, you could argue, should have having won game number 2 after brilliantly played game number 1. But this one was a real one-sided affair.
Honestly, they were clearly the best team here. NIP constantly looked for the late game. They didn't know how to play early mid-game at all. So SK Prime in all the games controlled it, used it to simply get so far ahead. There was little NIP could do, and sure, they needed an extra game. No issues, however. There was nothing about being the mental aspect of, hey, we just lost a game we should have won. No. Straight in for the next one here. Got ahead early game. Completely destroyed SK, NIP, sorry.
And that was the combo that we talked about in game number 1. Jarvan and Orion, Kikis and What the Fox. Here in game number 3, they did it again so well. Kikis, we saw from match 1 that he's not scared of diving in. Z's and What the Fox from SK Gaming Prime.
Thank you very much, Joe. Congratulations, guys. First off, what an amazing series. What the Fox, let me ask you first about this last game. You went huge on Yasuo. Talk us through what went through your minds in the beginning of that game and then for closing it out.
So basically, I got really camped in the beginning. So I just had to turtle and wait it out. And yeah, just try to farm and fight team fights. Because we had a really, like, we built our comp around team fights. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And then in the end, you were able to close it out. But Ziz, I of course want to ask you about that second game. You play an amazing Ezreal. And then in the end, you should just hit the Nexus. Talk us through the end of that phase and how you played that.
About the game overall, the laning phase, we didn't play that great, actually. We could have played more aggressive. And then I was 6-0, I think. I was kind of ahead, but I really misplayed in teamfight. I always misposition and give them an engage on me, and it should not happen with Ezreal. For the ending, it was so stressful. I don't know what to do. It's like everyone is talking on TeamSpeak, focus the tower, focus Kog'Maw, focus Yasuo. You don't know what to do, so I don't even know what I did. I can't remember, actually.
So having made maybe that mistake in that second game, how do you go into the playoffs next week knowing that you can't do that again if you want to make it into promotion? How are your general views on that tournament?
I'm going to try, from my point of view, I need to play more focus. I need to focus more. Sometimes I lose my focus in game and I do stupid mistakes I should not do in tournament. For playoff, I'm confident that we can actually make it to LCS if we practice more how to stay. Because sometimes we lose focus in the game, we start talking random stuff on TeamSpeak and we throw the game like this. If we just stay focused, I think we can make it to LCS.
All right, strong words that you can make it into LCS. What the Fox, talk me through how this team has evolved, because it seems that you guys have recently took a huge leap, beating H2K out just not too long ago. Now NIP here on that stage. Talk me through the strength of your team right now.
Yeah, our new strength is Kikis in the jungle. He has really good counter ganks and control of the game, so that helps us a lot. Yeah.
That's it. Kiki is gluing it all together. Welcome.
Yeah, his shot calling is really strong, and that's what we did. Like we were basically solo queue players, so we needed a shot caller, and Kiki fills that role really well.
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff here in this series. Congratulations, guys. We'll see you guys, of course, next week. And now we're going to wrap up things with the Fishy Joe over at the desk.